And let's just be honest here, it's not an Allison transmission. This 10-speed is not an Allison transmission. Nothing's gonna change other than the Allison badge on a newer truck. That's really it. One has to wonder if Allison just didn't want their name to be dragged through the mud. I didn't even know that this information existed. I thought that I was on top of things. I found out through you guys. I was getting emails and comments asking questions about, is this really real news? And I'm here to confirm this to you guys and tell you that it is absolutely true. Actually, I just watched Andre's previous YouTube video about GM Allison divorce. And here's the official letter right here. It says General Motors licensed to use Allison transmission trademark in connection with Chevy Silverado HD and GMC Sierra HD 2500 and 3500 trucks. The license agreement will expire at the end of the day on December 31st, 2025 upon expiration. So this is for real. This is going to terminate on the 31st. So what does this actually mean? I'm going to talk to you guys about this. There's a lot of information to be put out there. This is GM's response when the TFL website reached out to them to just confirm that this was accurate information. And it said, thank you for reaching out about this, confirming the license agreement. It says, we routinely refresh our products, including badging and brand collaboration. The transmission itself and the truck performance are not changing. It's the same 10-speed automatic we've offered in current and previous model years, which is basically your 2020 plus Duramaxes with the 10-speed Allison transmission. But the big question here is why? Man, I mean, when you buy a Duramax, the big warm and fuzzies that you get is that Allison badge. But let's just be honest here, the Allison branded badge on the 2020 plus HD pickup trucks, is it really Allison? They put their name on it. But man, do I build a lot of Duramax trucks on this channel. But yeah, big shout out to TFL. Check out his YouTube channel as well as their website. Really great information. Man, I have made a ton of YouTube videos about the recalls on the Allison valve bodies. We'll get into all that, but I think that's probably what's going on right now. Now, owners of the 2020 and newer Duramax trucks are dealing with the valve body failures, rear ends locking up, in massive downtime while GM scrambles to fix this whole mess. So what really went wrong here? Did the bad 10-speed kill the relationship, or did Allison finally say, we're done taking the blame? I mean, who knows? And I'm going to tell you what this divorce really means for the future of the brand. I'm not saying that the Allison 5-speed and 6-speed transmissions were perfect, but they definitely proven their point as far as reliability. I mean, the guy with the million-mile Duramax, same stock transmission, that transmission has well over 1 million miles on it already. I think he's already pushing 1.2 right now, but still kicking, and he uses that truck all the time. He's pulling trailers. It's kind of a neat story if you want to go back to some of my older videos. I covered a story on a guy with a 1 million-mile Duramax, but these Allison transmissions are tried and true. And kind of going back before 2020, actually back in 2018, December 2018 to be exact, it was reported that the new Allison 10-speed isn't really made by the Indianapolis-based Allison firm. They said it's a GM-built unit with Allison branding. So that's kind of how all of that worked out. Of course, there's been a recall issued by GM as of late 2024 covering over 460,000 vehicles, warning a transmission failure could actually cause the rear axle to seize while driving. And there's already been reports of this, guys. And not to mention, transmission specialists have traced the root failure to hydraulic cross leaks in the valve body. And that actually allows a fourth clutch pack to engage simultaneously, causing total lockup of the driveline. I'm going to throw a quick plug in here, though. I do sell the next-gen valve body kits for your Allison 10 speeds. But seriously, if you have an Allison 10 speed connected to that Duramax, go to the website and pick one of those things up. They're kind of pricey, but you can do them from home. It takes about 3 hours to install. There's a couple install videos on that already. I'd like to make one myself here on the channel. Not to mention, we are giving away switchblades, so every $1 that you spend on the truckmasterdiesel.com website will get you guys automatic entries in to win this truck. The contest is going to end pretty soon. You don't have to pick up a valve body kit. Really, anything that you purchase on the website will get your name in the hat to win this awesome truck. So I will leave that link in the description as well as the comments below. But that valve body kit is proven it's going to help your transmission shift better. That's a very big one. And it's going to correct that problem with the rear end possibly locking up. You guys just don't want to take any chances. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but this is actually happening. The fix for this that GM offered is a software update and later a revised valve body, which is the Gen 3 version. And let me know in the comments if you've gotten one of these valve bodies. Let me know how that's been treating you. But of course, like everything right now, national back order, trucks sitting at dealership lots for weeks, months, just dealing with it. And it is not fun. Many say that this is just a Band-Aid. It's not a true solution. And I would say that that's for the software, but who knows what the Gen 3 valve bodies are really going to do once they're actually installed in there. They're just now being released, so we're not exactly sure how those are performing. But what I do know is the next gen valve body kit is performing great. Actually, some dealerships are purchasing them by mass quantities and just installing them in these trucks because they're tired of customers having to wait, weeks or months just to get their truck done because they're waiting on all this stuff to come in. Now that Allison and GM are officially parting ways, or at least the license to brand is expiring. I think you guys saw that in the letter to try to make that more clear. But according to forum reports in October 2025, no more Allison badges on GM trucks. So GM license to use the Allison trademark goes away as of next June. I've been doing a lot of reading on this, but I'm hearing that there's a lot of other reports, a lot of insiders basically saying that this whole relationship has kind of been on the ins and outs over the years. So I think that Allison's kind of excited to move away from that. Those are the 5 or 6 years right there, which I think they're going to clean things up when they come out with the newer generation model Duramax. So I'm hoping that they'll fix that problem. We'll see. Not to mention with this news spreading like wildfire, it does make you wonder about resale. In the grand scheme of things, just going back to your 2011 to 2016 LML Duramaxes with the failed CP4 issue, if you could just correct that problem by putting a CP3 conversion kit in there, all that will go away. You won't have any more issues. And that goes with this Allison 10-speed. If you install one of these valve body kits in your transmission, you should be good to go. So it's not really that big of a deal. But as long as I've been working on these trucks, as long as we've known Duramax over the years, Allison always comes with it. So this is kind of a big deal for us. So let's just say that GM fixes it fast and restores confidence. Let's just say that the Gen 3 valve body and future transmissions hold up. Could GM actually build trust? I would say that after that, just a few failures instead of all these issues, I would say that they're back in business. Let me be clear here. Not everybody's educated on this stuff. Not everybody knows what's going on with the whole Allison breakup. It's going to take a while for that information to get out there. But if failures continue and the Allison badge disappears without a strong replacement, you're going to see the market share shift, if you know what I mean. Buyers may actually move on to other brands like Ford, Ram. They've had fewer major drivetrain scares in the last few years. The other scenario that would come up would be the shift in buyer behavior. So more buyers will hold off on new models. You guys are already seeing this in the truck world, especially trying to buy that very first year model. I think a lot of people, including myself, is going to wait a couple years because we're just going to see what happens. I think that's what's going to end up happening here. I still personally wouldn't be scared to buy one of these 10-speed Allison transmissions. Just as long as I put on a valve body kit, I will be fine. But you guys are already seeing this in the diesel world. It just blows my mind that they can put a $100,000 price tag on one of these trucks. I guess if you're a rich guy and you just need a tax write-off, that kind of makes sense, maybe, if you just make crazy amounts of money. But to buy a truck for $100,000, I just don't get it. They better get their act together. They better get their act together really quick because the heavy-duty truck buyer it's kind of funny to say it, but they're a sophisticated crowd. I mean, they're going to talk. They're going to share their experiences. They're going to remember the failures. And the next time that they get ready to buy another truck, they're going to ask, is the transmission fixed? Does it have the Gen 3 valve body in it? There's just a lot of stuff. Just like when somebody goes out to buy an 11 to 16 Duramax, they're going to ask, does it have a CP3 conversion? I'm going to go back to the old video where I talked about the amount of money that GM's going to have to push out to make this right. But I think that's what they have to do. I think they need to take every single Allison 10-speed that's in any one of these trucks and do a mass recall with all of them, bring them into the dealership, and don't put one of those garbage software updates on it, and actually put a valve body upgrade into the transmission. I think that's what's going to solve this whole issue so people don't have this problem and they can restore trust and confidence back into the brand. Either way, it raises big questions about build quality and trust. If you're going into a 2020 plus model, you need to dig deeper. So check transmission service bulletins, ask your dealer about the valve body fix. I mean, I think you need to do that anyways, even if you think that your truck isn't having problems, do it anyways. Also ask how many units have been replaced, consider extended coverage, because downtime, parts, shortages, warranty, it's all very uncertain right now. It's very unstable. A lot of these trucks don't just sit in people's driveways and they use it on occasions. A lot of these trucks are used for work. That's what they're for. But on the flip side, if you're open to one, don't panic, but do pay attention. That's all I have to say. Fluid changes. Watch for shift irregularities when you're driving. I never thought that it would actually come down to this. I thought that in the future, if I look back 15 years from now, I would have said to myself, man, those Duramaxes with the Allison transmissions, they're going to be so much better. Well, it's looking like right now, from what the research that I've done, your 17 to 19 Duramax engines with the Allison 6-speed transmissions are probably the best bang for your buck when you're trying to buy a newer vehicle, used newer vehicle. I would say go after that model. But that's pretty much it. Just kind of brainstorming some things about what's going on. It's very new news. I don't know everything, but from my experience, from what I'm seeing, after talking to some of the guys, after reading a bunch of forums, kind of having some crosstalk with my colleagues, some guys that own diesel shops. Everything that I said is absolute facts. They are parting ways. Kind of sad, but at the same time, I mean, hey, who knows? It might be for the good. It might be good for both parties. Allison has been doing such a great job over the years. I honestly think that this minor setback from them really isn't going to change a whole lot. But with them parting ways, what does that mean for warranties moving forward with the older trucks? That's the other question that I had. Are they going to be making parts for the 6-speed? Is that kind of an old thing now? I think they're going to continue, but I'm just curious. You know, with this whole split, is it going to make things a little more challenging between the dealerships? But then again, money's money, right? If you found any value in this video whatsoever, hit that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Click the link below. We sell diesel truck parts on our website at truckmasterdiesel.com. Of course, every $1 that you spend on the website will get you guys 10 times entries to win Switchblade. That truck is sweet. It's going to go really fast. Do not miss your opportunity. I'm telling you, this is a really nice truck. But after trying to put all of these pieces together, nothing has changed. They're just not putting the Allison badge on the truck. But either way, guys, that is it. We're done. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned.